I'd like to call the public hearing to order. We need a roll call on that? Okay. Roll call, please.
President Byrne,
Here.
Trustees Cook,
Here.
Grieb,
Here.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda,
Here.
Schultz,
Here.
Markwart.
Here.
Okay, we got a quorum. Does anybody want to comment on the, this is pursuant to Chapter 65 of the Illinois Complied Statutes. I hereby call to order, blah, blah, blah. Pursuant to statute, notice of this public hearing was published May 13th in the Daily Herald. And the clerk called the roll call. I declared the public hearing open. So is there anybody who wants to comment on this year's budget? Do you have any speaking parts, Nikki? Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. The proposed budget was distributed to the board on February 17th and discussed at the Committee of the Whole meetings on March 7th and 14th, with related discussions on social service grants on March 21st. The budget has been available for inspection on the village website and the village clerk's office since February 24th. The overall FY 17-18 proposed expenditure budget as revised is $49,711,746. Total expenditures include $18 million in development expenditures related to the Melody Farm District. Excluding Melody Farm payments, total expenditures represent a 9.4% increase from this year's revised budget. $2.4 million is for debt in all funds, representing a 24.47% increase over the current budget. $3.7 million is for capital, which includes following major projects: Deer Path Culvert repairs for $300,000, Lakeview Fairway intersection improvements, the road resurfacing program, Kids Castle contribution, repurposing of Village Hall meeting room space, engineering for Aspen Drive and Route 60, intersection improvements at Huntington and Greggs Parkway, and a local drainage program. Please note that the revised budget also includes modifications to personnel expenditures, which were already incorporated in the overall proposed budget in the contingency accounts. Projected resources total $50,531,334, which includes estimated bond proceeds of $21 million. And that bond issue is scheduled for early May. Excluding the bond proceeds, resources are projected to be $29,531,334, which is an increase of 3.38% over the current budget. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Okay. You want to say something
No.
just because this is your last budget approval? Or
I was just gonna say, do we need to approve anything or just?
Well, 18th, right? Yeah. No, this is just, the statutory hearing. Okay. So on and so forth. So, all right, I'll now entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
Motion and second. Roll call.
Trustees Grieb,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Markwart,
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Okay. The budget hearing, public budget hearing is closed. All right. Okay. I'd like to call the board meeting to order. Roll call.
President Byrne,
Here.
Trustees Hebda,
Here.
Schultz,
Here.
Markwart,
Here.
Cook,
Here.
Grieb,
Here.
Williams.
Here.
We have a quorum present. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any citizens that wish to address the board tonight? If not, we'll move on. Proclamation, National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. All right. Okay. Village President's Proclamation, National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, April 9th to the 15th, 2017. Emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services. When an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. The safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone Vernon Hills Police Fire Communications Center. Public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. Public safety communicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring their safety. Public safety telecommunicators for the Village of Vernon Hills, Lincolnshire, Libertyville, and the Countryside Fire Protection District have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. Each telecommunicator exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Village Board of Vernon Hills, Illinois declares the week of April 9th through the 15th, 2017 to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Vernon Hills, in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our village and citizens safe. Signed by me, Roger Byrne. So, you want to say anything on that one, Chief?
Mr. President, as they say, these are the most important men and women that you'll never meet. The odds are that hopefully you never need one, and if you do, you're never going to see one. But you need to know that their work is extremely important to the successful conclusion of whether it be a crime or a medical emergency. They do a fantastic job. They are often overlooked, and no one really thinks about the work that they actually do behind the scenes. But if they fail, the whole mission fails. So they are truly to be commended for their work, and thank you for the proclamation.
Yeah, I agree.
And we have two of our communications supervisors here in the
You guys
back.
want to step up, please? Take advantage of the presentation, Alder.
Yeah, sorry if I have to talk, so do you.
No, come on up here, guys, identify yourselves.
Yeah, because like Chief said, nobody ever sees you there.
Yeah,
I'm Communications Supervisor Ed Mankey. Worked for the Village of Vernon Hills, April 10th, 1995. I've been in the communications profession since August of 1989. I love what I do. I wouldn't change a thing that I've done. This is my Assistant Supervisor, Matt Kulig. Not only have we been partners, but we're close friends, and we enjoy everything that we've been able to accomplish here in our community.
Like Ed said, my name is Matt Kulig. I'm the Deputy Supervisor of Communications for Vernon Hills. I've been doing this for 15 years here at Vernon Hills, 17 years overall. Obviously found this a great place to work because I stuck around. Very proud to be here and plan to continue to serve here for years to come.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
You. Okay, Barb.
I just
Trustee
want-
Williams.
Thank you. I just wanted to add my thank you to your department. I've known on occasion to need your help, and not only do you respond accurately, but pleasantly, and keeping me, and I'm sure everybody else, calm until help arrived. It means a lot to know that that type of caliber of personnel is working for us and taking care of us. Thank you.
You gonna be here on the 18th? Barb?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is? Oh, okay, well, then I'll give it to him. Huh?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, you got his one? One. Oh, for the proclamation, okay. Chief, who wants this? Why don't one of you guys, Matt,
Somebody.
take this and frame it somewhere? Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you again.
Okay. All right. No reports from department heads? It's kind of refreshing, Okay, the next item is the omnibus vote agenda. Is there a motion to approve items A through L?
So move.
Second.
Motion is second. Comments or questions?
I'd just like to, for the public's sake, I'd like to go through item L. I don't want it pulled, I just want to have a
Oh, yeah.
enunciation of it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Whose baby is this?
Mine.
Okay, well then, trustee Hebda,
Yes.
speak.
So these are the amounts that we're going to grant for our social service applicants for this year.
Yeah.
We discussed this on the 21st of March. The first one is a Safe Place, granting them $5,000. CAP, which is the Community Alliance Project, we're giving them $2,500. Serenity House of Libertyville, $2,500. Youth and Family Counseling, $5,000. PADS Crisis Services, $5,000. University of Illinois Lake County Extension, Girl Scouts of the Greater Chicago Northwest, $1,000. The Indiana Vernon Hills Regional Service Center, $1,000. Fresh Start of Illinois, $3,500. Lake County Center for Independent Living, $2,000. CASA, $6,000, and Senior Issues, et cetera, $1,500, for a total of $35,000 for these individuals for social service grants. And I thank the board because these people need monies on many, many occasions.
Absolutely.
I wish we could give more, but we're giving something at least, and hopefully this will help them to continue to provide services to those.
Does anybody have any idea how many other towns participate? I'm sure there are, but,
I don't know. I don't think there are hardly any. I think we're
Boy.
probably one of the only ones, so.
Yeah, this has
I
gotta
feel
be
really
one-
good about that.
yeah, this has got to be tough these last couple of
I'm
years
sure
with
it
all the
has.
cuts.
Yes.
It's like, incredible.
Definitely.
So we certainly are.
Is there any
gonna-
way, could somebody find that out? Or is that,
Yeah.
or we already know the answer, what trustee Hebda just
I
We
said?
can
Yeah,
conduct
I
the
highly
survey
doubt
through the Northwest Municipal Conference and our associations.
Pardon, what?
But you
Oh,
could
we
just
can
call
do a
these
survey
people
and
up
reach
and
out
tell
to
you.
our-
Ask, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I think we're one
Yeah.
of the very few that do
Okay,
this.
well,
so-
yeah, that'd be nice to know.
So it's going towards need for people. So thank you, board, for approving this on the 21st.
Absolutely. Okay, well, is there now a motion? Do we have a motion? We have a second? Okay. Roll call, please.
Trustees Schultz,
Aye.
Marport,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Grieve,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right. Excuse me. Is there any new business to come before the board tonight? Any unfinished business? No. Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All right, do we have any?
Well,
executive
yeah, there's a
session?
motion, a second, and we will go into closed session to discuss.
Personnel, deployment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of an employee pursuant to Section 2-C-1 of the Open Meetings Act, and discussion of minutes pursuant to Section 2-C-21 of the Open Meetings Act.
Okay. All right. So, roll call.
Trustees Marport,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Grieve,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting to order. Is there a motion to approve committee of the whole meeting minutes of March 21st, 2017?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion is second. Comments, questions, corrections, deletions? If none, roll call.
Trustees Cook,
Aye.
Grieve, Williams. Aye. Hebda.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Marport.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item is reserve volume cap in connection with private activity bond issues, which are basically industrial revenue bonds. Nikki Larson, our finance
Hi.
director, will take care of this.
My turn again. Thank you.
I'm glad you put in the history of what we did a couple of times too,
Yes.
as far as helping
I
our
have to
neighbors.
thank Lynn DeAnda for digging that up for me, as we were digging up old files to find that out. Each year, as the board is likely aware, Under Section 146 of the Internal Revenue Code, the village is allocated an amount annually that can be used for private activity bond use. It's also called industrial revenue bonds. These are tax-exempt bonds that can be used on behalf of businesses engaged in manufacture or production of tangible personal property. They can also use to be financed the acquisition of fixed assets such as land, buildings, or equipment. As the mayor pointed out, historically, the village has transferred its allocation to private entities on 2 occasions. Once in 1995, the board authorized Swagger Foods to issue the village's allocation of up to $2.2 million to provide financing for acquiring their building at 900 Corporate Woods Parkway. And the second time was in 1997 when the board authorized Accurate Transmission to issue private activity bonds in an amount not to exceed $7 million to finance their 95,000 square foot building in Mundelein. The Illinois Private Activity Bond Allocation Act provides that home rule units of government may transfer its allocation to any other home rule or non-home rule entity, or also the state of Illinois, any agency of the state, and to a private entity. Since the village became home rule in 2011, we became eligible to transfer our funding allocation to another unit of government. For the last 2 years, 2015 and 2016, this allocation has been transferred to the Lake County Private Activity Bond Pool. This clearinghouse pool allows multiple municipalities to pool their funds together to fund larger projects throughout Lake County. Since its formation in 2001, the clearinghouse has funded nearly $200 million in local projects in Lake County. In the event that the clearinghouse actually uses the village's allocation, once it's transferred to them, the village could be eligible for as much as $13,000 in revenue. The allocation for 2017 is $2,631,400, and if the village does not make an election to reserve or transfer the allocation by May 1st, it does revert back to the state of Illinois pool and comes under the direction of the Illinois State Governor.
You think?
Staff is recommending that the allocation in Vernon Hills would be transferred to Buffalo Grove for the Lake County Private Activity Bond Clearinghouse Pool. And we're seeking your direction this evening. If the board concurs with this recommendation, the village staff would bring back an ordinance or a resolution at the April 18th meeting to make this decision.
Yeah, I see no reason not to. I certainly don't want it going into a black hole, you know.
Do we need a resolution or an ordinance or?
18th?
We would need to
put
bring
it
it
in
back
the-
for that purpose.
So
So
therefore-
with your direction tonight.
I'll make the motion to, for staff to, direct staff to create the necessary paperwork for an ordinance to meet the requirements of this transfer.
Second.
Motion is second. Then this is for, well, technically, I mean, legally, it goes to the private equity bonds.
Legally,
And the transfers, what, distributed to maybe other communities, but Buffalo Grove being the clearinghouse. Okay. yeah.
under the law, we're allowed as a home rule entity to transfer to another home rule entity. So Buffalo Grove serves as the host entity.
Right.
So technically, we're transferring it to Buffalo Grove, and they pool all of the bonds together.
And what do you think that will be, I mean, on a yearly basis?
It depends on how many communities participate. I mean, over the years, they've funded 200 million in projects. I mean, it would easily be $20-30 million per year.
Yeah, from us and other
From
communities.
all the communities
Yeah,
that
okay.
participate.
All right. Okay, there's a motion and a second, roll call.
Trustees Grieve.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Markwart.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn committee to hold and go into closed session to discuss personnel and minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Trustees Williams.
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Markwart.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Grieve.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. We will not be coming out to discuss any other business. correct? Okay. All right, thank you and good night. Yeah. You got one more, Barb.
One more